Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors Dynasty. Hawaii is 3-2 and coming off of a victory to start Mountain West play. Now I have implemented some new sliders. It is Mat 10's slider set if you want to look it up. I've used Mat 10 in the past and we're going to see how it goes with his slider set this year. But also I think it's important to keep in mind that it's not necessarily out of the question that we have an okay season. You know, I don't expect to win every Mountain West game, but I think every Mountain West game is winnable because none of the teams are particularly higher rated than Hawaii. Like they're all a little bit higher rated, but not crazy higher rated. They're all pretty beatable teams. And I think it's fair to say that we could go around 500, if not maybe even slightly better. At the end of the day, the Mountain West is just a little bit of a weaker conference. And that just means that the games might be a little bit more winnable. The best team we play the rest of this season is actually San Diego State, who is a 76 overall, but UNLV is playing the best, currently 4-0. In today's episode, we're going to get a little bit further into the season and hopefully get our first recruit, maybe even this week, as London Muhammad is very, very close to committing, and he would be the first ever commit in the series. We are also in the lead on Shaq Moffitt, the 1 4-star we're allowed to go after this year, and Syracuse has actually rescinded their scholarship offer, so it's just us at this point going after Shaq unless Syracuse decides to jump back in. But so far, it looks like they've backed out and Shaq is just ours. Air Force Academy, of course, is one of those teams that runs the flex bone triple option type of offense. So you're going to notice that their quarterback, Josh Johnson, is very fast and isn't exactly accurate or with a very strong arm. While they are very good at halfback with two different guys named Cade Harris and Cade Frew at the top of the depth chart, and then Tyler Latham. And then they have two very good fullbacks as well in senior Dylan Carson and the junior Owen Allen. And then they are once again pretty weak at receiver. It's a very particular type of offense and they know what they're after. Welcome back to the Rainbow Warriors Dynasty, everybody, as Hawaii heads all the way to Colorado Springs to face off against Air Force. This is the furthest distance we will have to travel this season outside of heading to Laramie, Wyoming to face the Cowboys later this season. But for now, we're probably a little bit jet lagged. Let's see if we can snatch a win off of the Falcons. The Bows will start with the football today as DeMarshawn Davis is coming off of his best performance of the young season. First and 10 from the 16 to start our day, and then Cam Barfield is going to go down, no gain. So immediately a second and long, Davis will look to throw, finding Harris, his favorite target so far this season. It only picks up 3. That leads us in a 3rd and 7 situation. Davis back to pass. He's going over the top. He wants Jackson Harris, who comes down with that catch. What a snag from the sophomore receiver, Jackson Harris. It was just a heave and a prayer, and the prayer was answered by Jackson Harris, not on the field for this play, taking a break as Barfield gets a carry, some running room to the outside here for Cam Barfield. Splits the defenders and goes for a first. Past midfield now. Davis on the play action, steps back to pass, finds Pofele Ashlock, some speed for Ashlock. He's inside the 20, down at the 18. The offense cooking so far on the first drive. Let's see if they can cap it off. He's on this fresh set of downs. Barfield will get the carry, trying to find a lane. Gets 2 yards. 2nd and 8 now. Davis throwing for Harris. Block picked up by Senecal, and it's going to be a 1st and goal for Hawaii. Inside the 5, starting from the 4. Our first attempt, 1st and goal. Barfield going nowhere as our center gets beat up the middle. Empty set for Davis now. 2nd and goal. He drops back to throw. Running out of time, scrambling to his right, still running, and finds some space and finds a touchdown with his legs. Touchdown Hawaii, as they will take the lead initially in this one. Davis, pretty decent on the ground as well. Haven't seen him run a whole lot this year. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that going forward. Scrambles away and finds 6. So let's see how the defense handles this option offense. We've been pretty good at stopping the run so far this year. Will that continue against this type of offense? Well, it's a carry and a stiff arm for Josh Johnson, and it's a pickup of 3 to start his day. And it does look like they're using that fullback Dylan Carson there in the backfield as well. On 2nd and 7, man in motion, and Johnson goes down immediately. What a play. That was the junior D tackle, Jamar Sakona, on that play. Now it's a 3rd down and 10, and of course they're keeping it on the ground. Spin move goes nowhere, and it's going to be a 3 and out to start Air Force's day. Back on offense and decent starting field position for the Rainbow Warriors. Quick throw to Jackson Harris, a bit of a hospital pass there, and he lets go of it. 2nd down and 10. Davis throwing outside for Senecal, who can't keep his feet in bounds. That'll only gain a couple. So 3rd and long now for Hawaii. Back to pass and over the middle for Harris, but it's a bit behind him. Harris definitely had a step there. Davis just missed him. Let's see if the defense can keep up the level of play we saw on that last drive. 4 minutes left to play here in the first. And off up the gut, nowhere to go. Logan Taylor with the tackle. So on 2nd and 10, Johnson looking for the speed option, fakes the pitch and then keeps it. Seems like that was the wise decision. Then hesitated a little on the run afterwards. It's 3rd and 1. Now still in that flex bone type of offense. A toss to the outside. 3rd and 1. They're not going to convert. It's 4th down. We're in the backfield quickly, and they're going to go 3 and out once again. Back on offense. 1st and 10 from our own 32 this time. And it's a screen set up for Ashlock. A block is missed, but a flag is also down. And it looks like this one's coming back anyway. Backs us up all the way to our own 22, and now it's a 1st and 20. Davis looking to make up some of those yards here. He'll find Ashlock, who seems to be really good after the catch. This time goes down pretty quickly. Now it's a 2nd and 14. Davis back to pass. He wants Harris. Nearly caught it off the tip. Throw was a bit too high. So now a 3rd and 14 for Hawaii. Are they going to be undone by the penalty? It's a throw over the middle. It's completely out of reach of Harris. 4th and 14. We'll punt it away again. And an absolutely electric punt return here from Cade Harris, the RB1. Look at him finding this lane here. Breaks out of a tackle and then goes the opposite way, keeps it in bounds, absolutely annihilates the punter with a spin move, and then finally goes down right around the 20. So excellent, elite even, starting field position for the Air Force Falcons. And now it'll be opposite way. It stays with Harris after his play on the punt return. 2nd down and 8. And it's another speed option. Harris gets the pitch, tries to make a move, but the tackle is made. So now it's a 3rd and 7, a little bit more traditional looking of an offensive setup here for Air Force, but it's still a QB run and it's not going anywhere. They cannot move offensively right now. Josh Johnson goes down. That will likely be the end of the first, and it will also likely be the end of this drive. 7-3 for Hawaii here as we start the 2nd quarter. Air Force only with 15 yards of total offense so far. Pretty crazy that they have 3 points, all thanks to that punt return. Barfield gonna get a carry here, running room up the middle for Cam Barfield, a pickup of 8. 2nd down and 2. Barfield will get a carry once again, but once again, the nose tackle just makes us look stupid. So now a 3rd down and 3. Need to get just past the 32 for a first. So we look to throw, and running out of time is Davis. And it is 4th and 14. We will punt it once again. Both defenses playing very well right now, making it very difficult to move the ball for either team. Johnson looking to throw for the first time today. He finds his target. It's the fullback with a big pickup. Finally, a 1st down for Air Force. That was Dylan Carson on the reception there. Maybe they're going to go a little bit more to the air now since the run game has not been working. Johnson breaks a tackle, though, breaks several more, finally goes down. And now it's a 2nd and 6, and this is just out of the shotgun for Air Force. 8 minutes left to play in the first half. A toss to Harris, and he's going to lose yardage. 3rd and 9 from the Hawaii 35. Johnson is actually back to pass here. Running out of time. Sakona's in the backfield again. He's been a menace so far today. And it is a sack here. 4th and 12. We'll see if they're in field goal range still. They're close enough that they're willing to try it at least. This is a 55-yard attempt from the right hash, and the kick is nearly blocked. There's a flag down on the play. It's good. But will this be a roughing the kicker call, and will they get an automatic first out of it? And it is an automatic first down. We did turn on roughing the kicker. It's back on once again, and it bites us immediately. Cade Harris on a carry is going to lose a yard here. It's okay. I trust the defense to get another stop. They've been very, very good thus far. Johnson taking off to scramble and just runs right past a Hawai'i defender, and it's a big pickup for Josh Johnson. One of our linebackers fell asleep in the middle. I'm not sure who it was. Now it's a 1st and goal at the 6. Maybe I spoke too soon about trusting us, as Johnson will toss it to the outside. Harris, touchdown, Air Force. And they finally get in the end zone. A couple positive plays on this drive, and the good starting field position means that it's 6 for the Falcons. They will take the lead for the first time in this one. Ever since that first drive, the Rainbow Warriors have had a hard time moving the football. See if that improves any here on 1st and 10. Barfield trying to get to the outside, and he'll do just that. Makes one man miss, but is going to be just short of that first. On 2nd and 1, Davis will step back to throw and goes underneath to Carson Papunu, who has a 1st down grab. His first catch of the day. From our own 38, Davis, a screen set up for Barfield. Some blockers to the right side and a 1st down reception for Cam Barfield. 4 minutes left to play in the half. Play action. And waiting for the tight end to get open, Oki Salavea actually makes that catch. An impressive grab, but it only goes for 2 yards. 2nd and 8 from the 48. Davis looking to throw, runs out of time just as Harris was running into open space. So on 3rd down, Davis setting up another screen for Barfield, trying to follow his blockers, but man, that linebacker was shot out of a cannon. The closing speed here was incredible. From number 13 from the opposite side of the field. He might actually be a DB that came over and made this play. In no man's land territory on 4th and 1, we're lined up to go for it. It's a direct snap to Barfield, and he's not gonna get it done, and Air Force will take over from near midfield. Their defense is stifling our run so far today. It's been hard to pass with the pass rush. Now it's a 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Handoff to Harris, who has been the main man offensively so far today. Seemingly energized the team a bit with his big punt return from earlier. Now 2nd and 2. Johnson is out of the shotgun this time. Still hands it to Cade Harris. Makes a spin move. He loves that spin move, and it does get him a 1st here. 2-minute warning. And it's going to be another handoff to Harris up the middle. Burst of speed from Cade Harris as he finally goes down at the 25. Air Force has found their offense. Looks like the flex bone hasn't been working. They've gone to other things, and that has started to free up the run game a bit. They go back to the flex bone. It doesn't work. Only a minute left to be played here in the first half. Can they find the end zone? As Johnson will toss outside. Harris, running room for Harris. Really good blocking to the outside, and a 2nd touchdown of the day for Cade Harris, as suddenly the Hawaii defense is searching for answers after such an elite start to the game. It's going to be 17-7 and only 55 seconds left before the half. 52 seconds, bad starting field position. Let's see what the Rainbow Warriors can do before halftime, as this is a throw for Nick Senecal, and it's well behind him. Davis coming off of the best performance of his season, kind of struggling a bit so far today. Throw to the outside for Senecal, goes out of bounds. And now it's a 3rd down and 4. Davis back to pass over the middle, finds Ashlock, holds on, has a 1st down, and we will go into the hurry up. Just over 30 seconds left to play. Quick throw for Jackson Harris. Looking for a little run after the catch. We'll call our first timeout. 1st and 10. Davis throwing over the middle. It's Carson Papunu. He's going to be short of the 1st down marker. We go back to the hurry up. Under 20 seconds left to play. Another quick throw from Davis is dropped, and now there's only 14 seconds left on a 3rd and 1. Davis back to pass on that 3rd down. He wants Harris, but it's out of reach as Davis is hit as he throws, and with 11 seconds, don't want to give Air Force a shot at a field goal, so we will just punt it away. 17-7 for the Air Force Falcons as we head to halftime, as Hawaii struggling to find any offense after that first drive. Air Force has adapted offensively and defensively, and currently they look like the better team. Falcons also start with the football here in the second half, so an opportunity to take a significant lead if they can find 6 here. It's going to be handoff Harris up the middle, a good lane, as the blocking has seemingly figured itself out. Despite being a bit of a lower rated team in the Mountain West, Air Force's offense is one of the higher rated ones, as there's a flag here. An automatic 1st down for Air Force. As now Johnson hands off, and this will be Harris again, but this time he's going to lose a yard. And I guess what I was getting at about the offense being higher rated is that this is one of the best offenses we have faced at least on paper so far this season. Oh my goodness. Josh Johnson gets flattened. Now it's a 3rd and 12, and it's just a regular shotgun formation for the Falcons, but it's still going to be a speed option. Johnson, though, not able to pitch it away. And finally, the Hawaii defense gets another stop. 1st and 10 from our own 40. Good starting field position. Cam Barfield, room to the outside, needs a burst of speed, breaks away, and has a 1st down. Now on 2nd and 9. Davis throws outside again. This time it's for Harris once more, actually. He'll pick up 3, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 6. Davis throwing. He has Cam Barfield. Need a little bit of speed from Barfield. We got more than enough there, and it's a 1st down. Landon Sims checks in for the first time today, and we'll go his way immediately out of the backfield. Sims reaching, despite not being anywhere near the 1st. Now it's a 2nd and 4. And we're going to the right side for Jackson Harris. Nearly intercepted, but Harris gets his hands on it, makes a move, and has a 1st and goal for the Rainbow Warriors. Out of the shotgun for Davis. He'll hand off to Barfield, looking for the end zone. Barfield's not going to make it there. Now a 2nd and goal. Davis running out of time, scrambling, stepping up, wanting the end zone. He's inches short of it. From the half-yard line, 3rd and goal. Out of the I formation, Davis trying to sneak. He's not going to get it. How do we not score a touchdown there? And on 4th and goal, the Rainbow Warriors are staying on the field. From inside the 1, Davis hands off Landon Sims. He's not going to get there. An injury timeout for Air Force, but they hold at the goal line, and Hawaii can't punch it in. So from just outside their own 1, Air Force will take over. Josh Johnson, though, has to be careful of the safety, and he goes down very quickly. They'll mark him at the 2. 2nd down and 9 for the Falcons. Hawaii hungry for 2 points. Johnson gonna keep it, and he's not really gonna get much. In fact, they say he just got back to the line of scrimmage. So from the 2, 3rd down and 10, Johnson throws. This is caught by Cade Harris. He's close to the 1st. A big time tackle from Elijah Palmer. That's gonna save the 1st down, and Air Force is gonna punt. We were so close to 6, yet here we are back around the 50 after all of that. Davis back to pass, running out of time again. He has just had no time to throw thanks to the middle defenders, those D tackles. They have been giving Davis a hard time all day today. Now a 3rd down and 8. Back to throw is Davis. Ashlock with a step. If the throw's on the money, it might be 6, and it is. Touchdown, Rainbow Warriors. Pafele Ashlock beats his man off the line and goes on a streak for 6. Touchdown Hawaii. We're back within a score. 17-14 here in Colorado Springs. Air Force takes back over on offense, and Cade Harris is going to pick up a yard. Under a minute left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Rapidly approaching the final quarter of play. Air Force up by 3. Back to the flex bone, which we have defended very well so far today. So that's a decent pickup for Dylan Carson, which will make it a 3rd down and 4. What could very well be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Johnson calling an audible at the line, man in motion, and it's a toss out to Harris. Need a big time tackle again. He's reaching for it. He's short of it. 4th down and 1. They will punt back to the Rainbow Warriors. The 4th quarter begins, and Hawaii has the ball down 3. Chance to take the lead back in this one. Nick Senecal with a grab. He'll pick up 8. On 2nd and 2, Davis will look to throw again. He wants Senecal again, but the throw is high, and so Senecal can't do anything with it. Those are the types of throws we see occasionally from Davis, which makes you wonder if he should be the quarterback. As he steps back to pass here on the 3rd down, finding Papunu. That's a 1st and 10 for the Bows. 9 minutes left to play. Davis back to pass once again. And he's got Harris open to the left side, but leads him a little too far out of bounds. 2nd down and 4. We'll go back to the ground. Cam Barfield looking for any space. It's just not there. 3rd down and 3. Davis will look to throw and finds Nick Senecal with running room. Senecal makes a man miss and is down inside the 25. A big pickup for the star wideout. 7.5 left to play. Barfield on another carry. This time it's a solid one that will pick up 5. We'll take that just about every time. 2nd down and 5. Davis throwing, and hit as he throws. It falls incomplete. Big time 3rd and 5 here as Davis will look to throw outside for Oki Salavea, but he heads out of bounds. 4th and inches. They stopped us on the goal line. We have to respect this defense and just attempt this field goal to tie it up. The kick is on its way, and that is through. It is 17-17, about halfway through the 4th. It has been a great game here in the Mountain West Conference. 6.5 left to play. Josh Johnson, the quarterback, and he actually looks to throw here, and down he goes. A sack for Hawaii. DeJean Benton, the one making an impact that time. It is 2nd and 17, as now they might not be safe from their own goal line. Johnson scrambling. He's running out of time. It's a safety for the Rainbow Warriors. As we get to the quarterback, Josh Johnson, forced to throw in this situation, and he panicked into the end zone. And it's 2 points for the Rainbow Warriors. This could end up being the difference in this one. So now we'll start with a football from our own 30. 1st down and 10, a touchdown would pretty much be the dagger. But let's just focus on chewing some clock and getting down the field. On 2nd and 5, Davis looks to throw. He runs out of time, and it's a loss of 10. Now it is 3rd and forever as Davis will look to throw. And he wants Senecal deep down the field. This one is well overthrown, and it's intercepted. And excuse me, that was Harris down the field. Air Force will take back over after the Davis interception. Had a window for Harris. He overthrew him by a lot. So here we go. Can the defense get another stop? Up by 2. Air Force with a chance to walk it off, as Johnson meets Sakona once again. 2nd down and 11. Josh Johnson with Cade Harris in the backfield, but Johnson will look to throw and finds his target for what I think is only the 2nd completion of the day. Keep in mind, they do only need a field goal in this one, as that would be enough to take the lead. So they might be going to chew clock mode already. Johnson goes down, though. It is 4th and 2. They're electing to punt it away from here. What a play from Jalen Smith. The punt went out of the back of the end zone. It is 1st and 10 from the 20. 2:45 left to play. Barfield gets a carry, tries to find some running room, and will get 4 yards. Air Force already using those timeouts. On 2nd and 6, it's another handoff. Barfield, he's going to get a very crucial 1st down and holds on to the football through a big hit. Air Force down to their final timeout. They do, of course, have the 2-minute timeout as well. On 1st and 10, Barfield on a carry nearly makes it through. There was a lot of space past that line. Now it is 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Cam Barfield on a carry. That is another critical 1st down for the Bows. And in fact, it looks like that 1st down is enough to end it, as Davis will take a knee, and that should do it. The Rainbow Warriors, off of a safety, will take the victory over the Air Force Falcons. After they went up 17-7, it kind of felt like we might be dead in the water, but we found a way to win anyway, and we'll improve to 4-2 on the season. 19-17 is your final here today. I don't know whether to attribute it to the sliders or just the way the Air Force plays, but that was a very enjoyable gameplay experience. Super tight throughout, and genuinely a difficult victory that we only got really because of that safety. Davis, 27-38, 71% completion percentage, 268 yards. It was generally a very efficient day. A 7-yard average is not exactly what you'd want necessarily. Running the football, one of the better days so far efficiency-wise for Cam Barfield, 18 for 79 for him. 9 more grabs for Jackson Harris, which went for 75 yards. Senecal, another day where it's a bunch of catches. They're all just super short yardage. And then Pefele Ashlock seems to be a really good deep threat on this team. He seems to beat his man off the line pretty often on those streaks. 4 for 84 and a touchdown for him. I'm starting to like him more and more as we use him more and more. Carson Papunu getting a bit more involved as well. He's a senior though, so it's not like he's a developmental piece. He's just our 4th guy. And then defensively, I think the biggest shout out has to go to our D tackles who literally ate today. Logan Taylor with some TFLs, Jalen Smith with 3, but Jamar Sakona was in the backfield so frequently. He in particular was very impressive today. And now it is time to advance the week and see if we did finally secure our first recruit. And indeed, we have London Muhammad, the right tackle from Keller, Texas, is the first commit in the Rainbow Warriors dynasty. And then it looks like it's just a matter of time until Shaq Moffitt is ours as well. Syracuse, unless they, come in here at the last second and start really pushing for him again, it looks like they have fully rescinded their scholarship offer. They are looking elsewhere, and they are conceding that the homegrown kid from Honolulu, Shaq Moffitt, is headed to the University of Hawaii. So our first commit, London Muhammad, I actually did not scout him at all. We're just such a bad team right now that any 3-star we can get in the building is going to be good enough. But our first commit, we did also lose out on our first player in George Mebane. And now we have 50 points to spread the love around. Glenn Tandy is very close to committing. He may even do it during this bye week. He does also visit in the week following the bye week, so I feel really good about getting Glenn Tandy. He is actually a bit scouted, and the reason I went after him pretty heavily is the 91 acceleration and 86 change of direction. I figure his speed must be pretty good as well. Although the break tackle at only 56 is a little concerning. Warren B visits this week. There is a slim chance we could steal him away from Oregon State. He is another homegrown kid from Honolulu. I would love to snag him up. We are gaining more influence right now than Oregon State. It just might be a little bit too late. We'll see how this next week goes since he is visiting. So now I think we advance the week. We see if Glenn Tandy commits, and we see if we can't get ahead on Warren B, which would be pretty sick. So we head to week number 7. Let's see some good news. Well, there's at least one. Glenn Tandy, the halfback, another one from Texas, has committed. And for Warren B, we are still in second. It is so close, but we might just be a little bit too late. We're gaining more influence, and we gained a lot more this past week, but I think Oregon State might just be a touch too far ahead. He, by the way, is an athlete. I believe contact seeker is a halfback trait, so he reads as a halfback initially, but obviously would be pretty good at a lot of things as an athlete. And being from Honolulu, obviously I was very interested. We'll see, but I think it might just be a touch too late. But we now officially have our first 2 commits in the series, Glenn Tandy and London Muhammad. Hopefully they're names that you're gonna see as stars in the future of this team. Ordinarily, I would do multiple games in this episode, but just since it's been so long since you guys received an episode, I'm gonna end this one here, get this episode out to you as quickly as I can. Apologies for the lack of videos. It's been a very interesting time in my life currently, but we should be back on track going forward, and I promise that the Angels franchise for the MLB The Show watchers will be back very shortly as well. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do this full time and we won't have to worry about real life stuff nearly as much. But what this does is it means that we've got probably 3 more episodes of the regular season, and they're bunched up into groups of 2. So we've got Utah State, Colorado State, San Diego State, and San Jose State, and then UNLV Wyoming. So probably 3 more episodes coming up for the rest of the regular season. We'll see if we end up bowl eligible. We are only 2 victories away, but we are getting to the much tougher part of our Mountain West schedule. Though, obviously Fresno State was a pretty tough opponent, but Air Force was a tough out with these new sliders. We'll see how it goes against teams like Utah State and Colorado State in the next episode. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. Shout out as always to the channel members and for supporting me as much as you do. I definitely do not deserve it. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can do so by hitting the join button down below for as low as $1 per month. And if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll face off against Utah State and Colorado State.